Hey guys, Ranger Danger back out in the woods again, and today we'll be discussing the secret of man's red flower. It's a personal one, but what do you keep in your fire tin? Since the dawn of time, fire has played a crucial element in the survival of humankind. And even though the tools to create fire have become more refined over the course of hundreds of thousands of years, they still require three basic components in order for a fire to be created: a source of ignition, a source of fuel, and the presence of oxygen. So first of all, let's discuss what a fire tin actually is. A fire tin is arguably the most essential piece of equipment that any bushcrafter or survival expert can carry in their pack. A well-stocked fire tin is not only a great time-saving device, but it can also mean the difference between a good night's sleep with a hot meal and a cold night with an empty belly. A basic fire tin can be made using a 2-ounce tobacco tin like this one here, which are easily available online, or alternatively, you can recycle an old Altoids mint tin. To maximise your chances of successfully creating a fire when out in the wild, your fire tin should contain no less than 3 different sources of ignition. This is in case if one fails, you'll have another 2 to fall back on. Another key component to a well-stocked fire tin is multiple sources of dry tinder, such as these: stinging nettle fibre, fat wood, char cloth, silver birch bark, silver birch wood, and amadou, or tinder fungus. The beneficial thing of having multiple tinders is it affords you the opportunity to mix and match in various combinations between your dry tinders and your sources of ignition. This maximises the likelihood of you creating a fire, regardless of the environment you find yourself in. So now we're going to discuss the different types of ignition sources that we should keep in our fire tin. As stated before, there should be no less than 3, so this way you'll always have a fallback if something goes wrong with the others. First up, and possibly the most important, is a simple lighter. This is a surefire way to guarantee that you will have a nice warm fire by the end of the day. The main advantage of having a lighter in your fire tin is that it's an extremely reliable source of ignition. It's also highly portable and requires very little skill in order to achieve a fire. Next up is the ferrocerium rod, or ferro rod. Again, another surefire guarantee of starting a fire in various conditions. All it takes is a shower of sparks and you're away. The main advantage of the ferrocerium rod over the lighter is that it can be used in all types of weather conditions, whereas the lighter will struggle in windy and wet conditions. The main drawback of the ferrocerium rod, however, when compared to the lighter, is that it only has 2 of the main components to start a fire: the source of ignition and the presence of oxygen. A fuel is required, such as this fat wood, in order for the fire to be successful. This next source of ignition is very often overlooked: the humble magnifying lens. Simply by harnessing the sun's rays on a fixed point, you can achieve a point of ignition with very little effort. Obviously it won't work in cloudy conditions, but on a sunny day, this can be a very helpful tool to have in your tin. Up next, we go back to basics: the humble flint and steel. This high carbon piece of steel, when struck against a sharp piece of flint, is capable of producing dull sparks. This is a more advanced bushcraft technique, and it does require a lot of patience and technique to get correct. It's also one of the less reliable sources of ignition and will only work on extremely dry tinders and in very dry conditions. However, don't rule it out, as it may be the one that saves your life. As previously mentioned, the flint and steel requires patience and practice to perfect. Here I'm using amadou as my tinder, which is very effective when using the flint and steel. So there we have it, guys, a short video containing a few tips on assembling a well-stocked fire tin. So no matter where you are in the world, be it a sunny day in Spain or a rainy day in the Amazon rainforest, if you carry one of these guys in your pack, you can guarantee yourself a good night's sleep and a nice hot meal. If you like this video, feel free to hit the like button. If you're interested in more bushcraft and tutorial videos, feel free to subscribe. I'll be making a few over the next coming months. But for now, I'll see you guys in the woods. Take care.